So I was talking with a client last week. I'm in the insurance business. And she was talking to me about how her husband had passed away last year and how he had always been, such a strong, healthy guy, never sick much. And it seemed like right after he retired, he started coming down with a lot of health issues. And it kind of made me think back to my experience with my own father, how, always been, again, a go-getter, strong guy, healthy. And it seemed like right after he retired, maybe I'd say 2 years, started coming down with complications himself. And even if you look at the statistics, the average lifespan for a man after retirement is about 6 or 7 years. And you might justify that by saying, well, once a man retires, he's a little older anyway, so he's not going to last that much longer. But I disagree, because I can tell you, I've personally sat down with countless 75-year-olds, both that were healthy and unhealthy. And the biggest difference I've seen between the men that are healthy and the men that aren't is that the men that are healthy are still directing that masculine nature to build towards something, whether it's volunteering, helping out at the church, helping out one of the local sports teams, whatever the case is, like they still able to direct that energy, that go energy, towards something. And one of the biggest threats I see to the younger generation is a lot of them don't appear to have that drive, that focus to shoot towards a goal. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's part of the cycle, right? Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Over the last 50, 60 years, we've been in good times, right? Everybody's gotten good education, have been afforded a lot of amenities that, maybe our grandparents, weren't able to provide for their children. And it's made everybody a little bit soft, and, understandably so. But the danger of that is that you have a generation of men who, instead of getting the fulfillment of what it feels like to accomplish something, to build something, they're now looking for fulfillment in entertainment, right? Short-term dopamine rushes, porn, social media, likes, views. None of it adds to your confidence. None of it adds to the idea that you're growing and you're expanding as a man. Because that's what that energy really wants to do. It really wants to grow and expand. But in order to grow means you have to also go through some pain. Building is hard work. There's challenges, there's problems, there's headaches. But it's all necessary. It all makes you a better person. And the way that you get, I'd say, better able to deal with a lot of the challenges and setbacks is by elongating your perspective. If you take two people, one successful, one unsuccessful, one of the biggest differentiating factors you're going to see is that the person that's successful is willing to take more shots, right? They'll start off being happy with hitting 1 out of 1,000. The unsuccessful person, on the other hand, if he doesn't hit 1 in 5, he's out of the game. He's got to try something new. But the idea is, start out with 1 in 1,000. Let's do another 1,000. Now I hit 10 out of 1,000. After that, I'm hitting 20 out of 100. And that's the path to mastery. But nobody talks about that, right? And again, it's not anyone's fault. What's being promoted right now is this idea of effortless freedom, which in itself is basically promoting, let me get to nothing. Let me get to a point where I can just not have a care in the world, just sit on my laptop, sit on the beach, and do nothing. And it's usually promoted by people that have worked their ass off to give that message, right? That idea of nothing, selling you nothing, is actually a marketing ploy which gets you nowhere, because nobody's talking about the work, right? People sign up for these courses and all these programs, and then they find out that the work is involved. They find out that you're actually going to have to confront yourself. You're actually going to have to deal with your weaknesses and get better. It's too uncomfortable, right? So where they decide, it's easier to do nothing. So one of the things I would challenge you is, at the close of every day, I want you to ask yourself, did I build anything today? Did I grow through anything today? Did I plant any seeds that may not necessarily help me today, but will benefit myself and my family in the future? Hopefully you learned something new or remember something you forgot. Till next time we talk, go build something.